Hey, it's marine kyology. How are y'all doing tonight?
Welcome to Science Thursday. Today's topics are Ireland, ancient humans, Ireland, tiny ferns, killing rats, polyps, oranges, neutrinos, quantum LEDs, left brains.
Welcome to the show. Sorry, messed up and called it Science Friday again. Big fan of Science Friday. It's hard to get out.
Shout out to Fridays and science. Also Thursdays, we're hanging in. We're ready to go.
And we're here with marine kyology. Marine, I'm glad you could join us.
Thanks for having me, everybody.
And if you didn't recognize who this is Zach Show Live coming at you.
Marine, where are you?
Nice to hear you. What?
Where are you right now?
I'm driving.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Is it safe right now?
Yeah, I'm safe.
Yeah,
I'm still driving an illegal car, but
Marine, I'm so glad you're here. Well, let me just introduce the show. This is Science Thursday, where I just look through a lot of science articles and pick the ones that are cool, and then we talk about them. So that's it.
And I just want to clarify something that I wanted to mention, that people understand. We cover all science, everywhere from 0 Kelvin to 273 Kelvin. I still haven't looked up exactly. One's really hot, one's really cold. We hit the bottom of the barrel and we take the top.
I mean, doesn't Kelvin use like absolute zero?
Yeah. Exactly. It's the time where all particles stop moving. So we're getting that kind of news, and we're also getting the news where the particles are just fucking going crazy.
He's just saying the entire spectrum.
We're getting that fire news.
The expanded spectrum of science.
We're getting the fire and ice. Like
speaking of spectrums and like things outside of our perception, did you hear about the neutrino news?
I thought the neutrino.
Is there a new bomb?
I thought the neutrinos came out with a chocolate wafer. Is that correct?
Are you talking about? Wait, you talking about vanilla wafers?
I'm just like, neutrinos sounds like a type of cookie, like an artisan cookie.
Are you talking about like a neutrino bomb?
No,
we're talking about the neutrinos with the little cream puffs.
So, I mean, here's the crazy thing: it's like neutrinos. It's a particle. There's big news going around because like they've been trying to look at these things for a long time and they rarely see them. They're these particles that are, I guess, trillions of them are going through you at every second. They're these particles that shoot out and aren't affected by anything. They just go straight in a straight line and usually through stuff. And so they're hard to detect because you can't ever see them. And so what they have done in the past is they've had just like these large water tanks, humongous. And they have like photoreceptors all of the edge of them, so that if by chance, and it happens every once in a while, a neutrino strikes any of the water molecules, it'll light up a little bit, and then they can see the sort of direction that it was coming from, and then they can trace that and then be like, which star did it come from? And so that's been how they've done it for a while.
This is crazy.
That's been how they've done it for a while, but I guess there's this new one that I didn't even hear about. It's called Ice Cube, which is an Antarctica version of one of these new neutrino detectors, where they just, instead of having a big tank of water, they just have a bunch of ice that was, I guess, already there. I guess maybe they put their own fresh water. I'd like to know more about it, but there's just sensors all over the ice, basically in a grid. And then if the neutrinos strike the ice, then they get a detection. And they did, and they found this one that's like way big. Yeah, I'll read you this is from The Guardian. Neutrino that struck Antarctica traced to galaxy 3.7.
source.
The Guardian?
Yeah, we are all use The Guardian.
Don't read The Guardian.
Like a bad.
Well,
Really?
I don't know. I don't think it's that bad.
Well, I mean,
well, a lot.
I'm like the Guardian. I feel like you need to trust it.
Well, I'm just gonna read it because, like, actually, I read another one from a different site, and I like the Guardian's writing better. So I don't know.
Let's hear it.
So it's a mysterious ghostly particle that slammed into the Earth and lit up sensors buried deep beneath the South Pole has been traced back to a distant galaxy that harbors an enormous spinning black hole. So I guess, like, you know how at the center of every galaxy they assume there's a big supermassive black hole. Just that's sort of like the thing that's basically how we have the sun at the center of our solar system at the center of a galaxy. There's a bigger thing that's making that's the galaxy's orbit around, and that I guess it's a black hole. And I think there's these really big one that's
A big asshole.
yeah. They said it's near on the shoulder of the Orion constellation. There's this one.
He's got a hole in his freaking clavicle.
Yeah,
Would
some of these black holes
you
appear
describe like that as like a gaping hole?
Yeah, it says some of these black holes appear to pull in material at ferocious rates, a process that simultaneously sends streams of highly energetic particles out into space. Such galaxies are called blazars. I don't know if that's how you say it. Although
What?
the term only applies to when these streams.
Maybe blazers.
So like the stream, I guess blazars are shooting all over the universe, but when they're shooting directly at Earth, we see them. So this one's like sort of it's like a sniper of these neutrinos coming right at us from this one place.
I have a question. Does neutrinos deliver?
What do you mean by that?
Sounds like a pizza place. Is there neutrinos around here?
Now, can we get this? Nah, I mean neutrinos are just crazy.
Is there like an endless pizza deal called that, like a blast bar or whatever?
Neutrinos, they fucking we'll zap it right to you.
Anywhere you are in the universe, we'll zap it to you.
I just wonder what so this whole thing is like these things are so new, like they even just seeing them is so hard that they don't really know what the flip they are.
So what is the benefit of these? What is what are we learning? Are we learning about?
We're just like a lot of
just observation.
Yeah, I mean the idea of something that is not affected by gravity, not affected by anything at all, that's just this like fucking weird just particle is just like really weird, and
it's weightless.
It's almost weightless. They used to think it was, but
that's everything though. Like electrons are almost like atoms are all like really.
But these are even more so. Like
really,
yeah.
Dang, because they already weigh like nothing.
Yeah, I think it said it somewhere about how heavy they're. So like they were once thought to be massless. Yeah, it doesn't say how much they are, but it's not like it would mean anything to us anyway. But they're really small. But yeah,
I mean,
let me read this final sentiment from this one scientist. He said, "In tracing the neutrino back to its origin, scientists have launched a new era of astronomy, one in which the heavens can be observed not only with traditional telescopes and even gravitational wave observatories, but with neutrino detectors too. How much we are just starting to scratch the surface is the big question we are grappling with now." So he's like, we don't even know how much we can learn about them. This is like, yeah, it's a whole new thing.
This might lead to the stairway to heaven is kind of what I'm getting. I mean, I think that we're getting closer to God.
Yeah, probably. Nah, Jake. Anyway, they want to build a way bigger ice cube. So I watched this other video. They were like, we want to expand the ice cube 10 times, make it 10 times bigger, and then we'll definitely catch some cool stuff. They're like, we'll definitely find out what we need to know or something.
And he's climbing the neutrinos to heaven.
Oh man, speaking of cold and speaking of ice cubes, I feel like Ireland's a pretty cold country.
Oh yeah, that's weird you mentioned that because did you hear what Ireland just did?
No, I mean I don't really know anything about Ireland, honestly. I mean, I know that we're Irish, but
All I know
don't-
is all I know if you're from Ireland, my penis is Dublin. That's all I know.
Is that a fact? Like for sure?
It's still up.
Is that science?
It's still up for discussion.
That's pseudoscience. Okay.
Yeah.
We try to stay away from that.
That's not pseudoscience. That's speedo science. I was trying to make like a joke about like, I don't know.
Wearing a speedo.
Look, guys, Ireland becomes the first world country to divest from fossil fuels.
And guys, get your Science Thursday speedo merch coming soon.
Wait, how the hell are they doing that? Like,
So they said
Sorry,
bill passed by the
What
Parliament.
happened? I'm sorry. Hold on a second. I got to read this.
A bill passed by the Parliament means more than 300 million euros of shares of coal, oil, peat, and gas will be sold as soon as practical. So yeah.
What, like peat? Peat, like peat moss?
I think there's like,
Nah.
What the fuck is peat?
I think it's like dirt with like gas in it. I'm not sure.
yeah, it's like really like nutrient rich soil.
I mean, I know that we used to use like peat moss and like stuff like at the greenhouse, like built like growing stuff. So I know that it.
It says the Republic of Ireland will be the world's first country to sell off its investments in fossil fuel companies after a bill was passed with all party support in lower house parliament. Here's the guy who like introduced the bill, one of them. The divestment movement is highlighting the need to stop investing in the expansion of a global industry which must be brought into managed decline if catastrophic climate change is to be averted, said Thomas Pringle, the independent member of parliament who introduced the bill. Ireland divesting is sending a clear message that the Irish public and the international community are ready to think and act beyond narrow short-term vested interests. So it's just basically they're like, we're out. We don't want to be we don't want to be even involved in any of this. It's so
dude. But I don't understand how are they. But like, have you read like some kind of initiative they're gonna take? Like, is there any kind
it's
of
a
like
bill? They said.
plan?
What do you mean?
I mean,
it's
okay,
the
but
states,
like, if they're even gonna go to electric, like they're gonna have to go completely like renewable energy because.
No, I think they're just selling. They're selling their investments. So like, I guess it's like they make money on it in certain ways. They're invested in it to get returns.
Oh, so they're still using fossil.
They'll still use it. They're not going to try to quit them. They're just quitting the investment, which gives them the incentive to continue them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what I'm understanding. I think.
I think they did.
It's like if you had a bunch of stocks in a company you really didn't agree with, but that company was really profitable, you'd be like, I'm divesting because I'm morally against that. Is what I'm not really sure. It's not the same. It's like a whole country investing in like a fuel. Look, I don't know. This is what I'm guessing it's like though. Do you understand?
I kind
do.
of understand. I mean, yeah. I mean, good for them. I guess, right?
I mean, I guess that's a good step, but I mean, there's so many scientists that say like the damage is already done. Like a lot of scientists have said that so far. They're like the damage is already done. Pretty much at this point, there's no way to reverse it. We're pretty fucked. So
yeah, well,
I mean, I think at this point we might as well just drink a pint. Just have a pint on it.
I got some great plant science that'll go with this.
Okay.
About like something that will maybe.
Kyle might be interested in this. He's Beyond Garden. This is a little something.
Hi, welcome Beyond Garden. How can I help you?
What is that?
Kyle's like garden company where he is like building raised bed gardens.
I didn't hear about that.
His company's called Beyond Garden. So this is some like might be interesting to him and his career.
I mean, I have Beyond Garden, and then not until Sean pointed it out really did I did I realize it sounded like a Chinese restaurant?
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Okay, we're going to move into plant science now. Fern's sequenced genome holds environmental promise. A tiny fern with each leaf the size of a gnat may provide global impact for sinking atmospheric carbon dioxide, fixing nitrogen in agriculture, and shooing pesky insects from crops. The fern's full genome has been sequenced by Cornell University and Boyce Thompson Institute scientist and his colleagues around the world, as reported by the journal Nature Plants. I don't know, sorry, didn't need to read that.
So what the fuck is going on?
So-
The leaf, each leaf.
So there's a picture of this like tiny fern like on this guy's fingernail for this picture. It's this tiny, really microscopic fern. Not microscopic, but small.
So this is gonna like cure crops? Like, is it like a?
So this fern for some it does three things that they're interested in. They said it like
It's
eats a
nitrogen
lot
fixing.
it eats a lot
Which
of
is
carbon
good.
dioxide. They think that this plant, 15 million years ago, Earth was a much warmer place. Azolla, which is the name of this plant, this fast-growing bloom that once covered the Arctic Circle, pulled 10 trillion tons of carbon dioxide from our planet's atmosphere, and scientists think it played a key role in transitioning the Earth from a hot house to a cool place. So I think this is like one of the ones that would like pull a lot of carbon
That's
dioxide.
actually pretty sweet.
And then they said this also the thing about the nitrogen.
I mean, we're gonna need a lot of them if they're all the size of a fingernail.
Well, you do need you need nitrogen fixation for like a lot of things.
Yeah, they said this one that this plant can do it because it has a symbiotic relationship with cyanobacteria, a blue-green phylum of bacteria that obtain their energy from photosynthesis and produce oxygen. Special cavities in Azolla leaf host cyanobacteria to fix their nitrogen, while the plant provides sugary fuel for the cyanobacteria. So it has like this weird relationship with a bacteria. So I guess like you wouldn't need the bacteria or the nitrogen in the soil, right?
If it's
Somehow
because
provides its
the
own.
whatever organism is, I guess, is giving it nitrogen.
Yeah. And then it also repels, for some reason bugs don't like it. And so I guess they want to look at they want to look at the DNA, and I guess just like use the DNA to genetically engineer our plants to make them take their properties as well.
I thought they were just gonna like plant them like in between corn rows or something. Like,
I don't know. I think it's just. I think they want to like.
they just
didn't
need to
say
study the plant and like.
They didn't say it in the article what they want to do with it, but they said ferns are notorious for having large genomes, some as large as 148 gigabases, or I don't know. They just say really big, and so that's why they're hard to sequence. And they like called on all these scientists to like quickly help complete the sequencing of this genome.
The fern is I like ferns. They look very prehistoric, and they just grow
They do.
on rocks and shit.
They look like what you'd see in
They're pretty
Jurassic
cool.
They
Park.
were the earliest
They
plants,
seem really
right?
resilient. I mean, are they?
I think that the ferns happened before the other plants.
I think they can like fucking like. They can just survive on any kind of climate.
I thought they were sort of sensitive too,
But-
though.
Wait,
they're sensitive, more sensitive to cold, but I think they can. Actually, I'm not sure.
Ryan, are you like fern real though?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. I actually gotta go. You guys, I'm sorry.
I have more. I have some ocean news.
I know I'm already sitting outside his friend's house.
It's about polyps, Kyle.
Kyle, but it's polyps, dude.
Coral
And I have some
polyps.
I have some coral news and some polyp news.
Just give me one news. I really gotta go after that.
What do you want to hear about, the coral or the polyps?
What is the coral about? Is it about bleaching or no?
It's about actually killing rats.
What's the polyp news about?
It's about like how polyps share a body with not members of not their family.
I kind of want the rat one.
So it's pretty simple story. Killing rats could save coral reefs. So on these islands, on a lot of islands, there's just invasive rats from shipwrecks and people visiting them from
Is there shit like getting in the water and then like
it's weird because it is about poop, but it's not about rat poop. It's that the rats are wrecking the habitats of the seabirds. Including boobies, frigate birds, naughties.
I know about those boobies.
Shearwaters.
They're like frigate.
And
man.
these seabirds, so they're killing the seabirds' habitats, and the seabirds are becoming like way lower numbers, and then they don't go out into the ocean and poop into the ocean. The seabird poop feeds the coral.
Holy smokes!
So these rats
talk about shit out of luck.
So pretty much these scientists are like, we got to go to these islands. They say it's crazy because you'll go to the islands that there are no rats there, and they smell horrible. They smell really gross, and they're covered in seabirds, and the coral's doing really well. But then you go to the islands that have rats, and there's no seabirds. There's even less fish there. So these rats, even though they're just on the land, they're having an effect on the coral.
I wonder if it's the seabirds that are eating the fish, and because there's more fish in the ocean, they're eating like the smaller. It could just throw off the food web.
I don't know. Again, it's in the history of this show to question the scientists, but I'm gonna have to say they know what they're talking about here.
What's in this bird shit that isn't in our shit? Maybe we can just drop a load off in the.
I think it's a lot different.
I think it is definitely a lot different. I guess because they're eating like fucking berries and twigs.
No, these seabirds are eating fish.
Fish. Oh, okay. I guess so. It's just dead fish, basically.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just making the soil real good for the coral. I don't know.
No, that's what I was saying. That's what I said. That since the seabirds their habitats are being destroyed, there are no seabirds to poop on the coral, and the coral needs the bird poop. You didn't get that before?
No, I didn't.
The coral, bird poop is crucial to the coral. So to get more bird poop, we have to kill all the rats. We have to go to all these islands where the rats don't belong and kill all the rats somehow.
Dude, we're kind of like the bigger rats. I've always thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, we're worse than the rats. It's true, but like these are some islands where people aren't even there really, and so the only thing that's different is we were there once and we brought rats.
The question is, what animal do we introduce to then
kill the
rats and then throw off another animal species? You know what I mean?
That's the big problem. I don't know how to kill all the rats. They didn't say that in the article, like a good way to kill the rats.
I'm gonna have to swim out of here, guys, if you know what I'm saying. Thank you guys for having me. You mean
scurry out of here? I think would be a better way to.
No,
because you're being a little rat.
But I am marine kyology, though.
All right, sure. I'm beginning to question if you actually are marine kyology or if this is just beyond garden. Yeah. All right. Well,
later.
And we're back. It's just Zach and I again.
Hey.
Moving on to the next section. Do you want to hear the other coral news, the polyp news that I was talking about, since we're in the ocean a little bit?
I want to continue to talk about the
dead rats.
Yeah. I don't know, like, because I was actually picturing this bird poop that was like, I was picturing these coral, like, I wasn't thinking of coral as a plant. I was thinking of coral more as an animal.
It is an animal, sort of.
And I was like picturing the corals just like munching on the dead shit, on the shit. Is that exactly what happens, or is it going into the soil and they're absorbing it from the soil?
I think it's landing right on the coral.
I thought it was like landing right in their like coral mouths.
I think it sort of is. Like coral's weird because it's a thing where like polyps live inside of it, and it's like a combination plant / animal, but it's more, I don't know. It's weird.
All right. Well, I mean,
since we're talking about polyps, do you just want to talk about them? Do you have any more to say? I just want to kill the rats. I mean,
you don't want to?
No, I don't know how to.
Fucking rat poison, like we used to do that at the farm. Just
maybe. I think that it'd be hard to kill all of them.
Yeah, that's a lot of freaking rat pellets.
I don't know how big they didn't say how big the islands are, but I'm sure.
I mean, honestly, yeah, I don't want to say that. Never mind.
What?
Just like I was just talking about like rat hunting.
Oh,
like,
just send rat.
Probably be pretty fun.
Sounds
be
like
hard.
They're crazy. Those fucking rats are gonna try to fucking bite your ass. Like,
Yeah.
they're. I mean,
cool. Do we go out there with like a blow dart or something?
yeah, that'd be cool. No, we used to freaking pull up like big slabs of concrete that we would like on the farm. We'd throw some like feed on top of a slab of concrete, and that was like what the cows eat off of. And we would sometimes lift those up because the rats would live underneath. Well, they were mice, but they would live underneath, like, and they'd have little tunnels, and we'd pull up the concrete, and they'd just run everywhere, and we would like go and like just try to kill them. It was
Oh my god. Yeah,
it was
like
scary though, because like they'd literally like run up your pant leg and stuff like that, like real
oh my
scary.
god.
Like classic rat shit, classic mouse stuff.
Yeah, I guess that's why it's classic to see like a lady standing on a chair and going like eek.
Yeah,
Like they will climb up that dress.
I've seen a couple rats in my day, and I've screamed like at the top of my
I
lungs.
saw so
It was
many in New
fucking
York.
scary.
Like I started to like
rats,
them.
I feel like rats are more like calm, and they're kind of just like, what's up? And they'll just like
Yeah.
eating a piece of fucking
I've seen them
whatever.
scurry too, though. But true.
Yeah.
Mice seem more like freaked out
Yeah.
generally.
Yeah. Let's
I would like. I don't like killing things, but I would volunteer to kill rats on an island that needed help, like to save the coral.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good reason. I'd like say a little prayer or something for each rat.
Yeah, I don't want to. It does seem kind of fun. I mean, sorry to everyone out there that doesn't believe in killing animals or whatever. I mean, I'm on your side, but
Rats are smart too.
yeah, I know that's why I'd be fine, because like, they'd be like crafty.
You think that we'd have like a nemesis? It's like,
Kinda.
patch eye, like one-eyed one.
I
that's, like,
really think you would though.
you'd see him and he'd always get away.
There's one. I'm sure there. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like you just. Yeah, I don't know. I was. Let's hop over to the next subject.
Pop to the polyps.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a transition. I had literally.
It's because you don't know what polyps are, right?
Polyps are a single-celled organism that is derived from wheat.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. It's
Well, it's like a sea thing. I know that.
it's the thing in the ocean. Yeah, they're weird. I mean, they say that they grow on I collect them in Maine. Everybody knows what they are when you explain them. They're colorful and they grow on rocks. They look like they look like a bunch of like mushrooms with like
They grow on rocks.
they look like little puffs with like a string attached to them. And then I don't know,
it
like
looks
spaghetti.
It kind of looks like wheat, like kind of like spaghetti with like a little bit of a wheat top.
They're related to jellyfish and coral. Like some versions of these live inside coral, like these special like little spots inside of coral. When you see coral bleaching, that's when the coral turns white. That's because all the polyps have died. So the polyps actually provide the color for the coral. But these ones don't live inside a coral. These are just different ones.
They live on rocks.
Yeah. So anyway, this is a weird thing about them. The title of the article is "Polyps will let unrelated others fuse to them and share tissue," scientists discover.
Unrelated others.
Yeah, so scientists discovered that polyps have no qualms about treating a non-related individual like part of the family. This goes way beyond sharing meals or even a roof. Polyps of the marine hydrozoan Ectopleuralarynx allow non-related individuals to fuse their bodies to the familial colony and share what is essentially skin and a stomach. So, like, if somebody drifts in to your zone, they'll just basically sort of merge with you, and you share stomach and skin and everything. You become like one organism. But
it's another polyps.
It's different individuals. Like, it's different DNA. Like,
just whatever. They're like, hey, we got like some extra rice and some like rations here for you.
Yeah, they basically said like
they're like, look, you're part of us now. You're giving us a good look. We like you. Is it because you're making it bigger, so you become part of this. So they're like, look, you get, this is your lunch money, and
Here's what it says. It says, in the ecological context that they're in, it appears that there's a trade-off. You could be a tiny little thing with one mouth, or you could fuse with mostly relatives and once in a while a stranger, and be a big individual with lots of mouths. So it's just like, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
So it's like your buddy next door is like eating a hamburger, and you're basically like, you're there, so you're getting some of that hamburger juice.
Yeah, everybody. If somebody eats the hamburger juice, then maybe everybody gets a little hamburger juice. I think that might be how it works.
You probably get it more if you're close to it. It's probably proximity thing.
Don't know. I don't know. But it's kind of cool. They said that mostly polyps are asexual and just sort of like split, but these ones produce sexually. See, these particular polyp colonies are different from others in that they are not simply composed of a mother cloning itself. Rather, they produce sexually, and the offspring fuse to the parent. For over 100 years, people saw them and thought they were budding because that's what they do, like these things do. They said, we brought them into the lab, but we never saw budding. So, yeah, they studied the genetic relationships between the polyps and expected to find individuals that were genetically identical, or at least similar, but they didn't expect to find was in addition to the close relatives, they were genetically unrelated polyp fused to the colony. So it's kind of crazy that just like whole different thing has.
It's kind of like they're like a bunch of like kind of like it's like a big orgy. They're like, look.
So it's like sharing resources as like, I don't know. I guess
it's kind of like, one of those houses where everybody like contributes.
Yeah. The crazy thing about this, what it first made me think of when I heard it, is like this one experiment that they did with plants, where they had plants that were related to each other in like a closed off zone with only limited resources, like not enough resources for even one plant to survive, or maybe only enough for one, but there were 4 plants. And if the plants were genetically related, like brothers and sisters or something, they would share the resources. Like each plant would take the same amount of water, same amount of nutrients. But if they were unrelated, the strongest plant would win. It would like just
because they have the same fucking DNA.
Yeah, so like
in
plants,
essence, they're like kind of the same plant.
No, I mean it's more just genetically related. I don't think they're the same plant.
It just could be it could be the seed of that.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. So. But if they're genetically related, they share resources, and if they aren't, they compete. So it's kind of crazy that this polyp is more it's crazy that the plant is more like blood's thicker than water, sort of like plants are more that way than polyps are. Like these polyps are like anybody like even if you're not related to us, come on, you're joining in. Yeah. You get a piece of this.
Yeah, it's really kind of I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a good like reference of like a bunch of outcasts that come together. I couldn't think of anything.
Yeah, I know what you mean though.
Yeah,
like the maybe like the Peter Pan Lost Boys.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know.
It's as if they all had one mouth, though. They like they like sewed themselves into one body because for some reason it was like helpful.
Yeah,
just a bunch of strangers met up and decided to sew themselves together.
That just reminds me of like the fucking Human Centipede.
Yeah, it's kind of like Human Centipede was someone like, actually, I like it. Actually, this is better.
This makes sense.
Yeah, so that's cool. I was also really into siphonophores, which are like also related to jellyfish and stuff, which is like this one thing that it's like it's one. It looks kind of like a jellyfish or like a big like sort of like jelly chandelier sort of thing, but it's actually many individuals all sharing the same body. So it's like a whole colony, but like some of them are the butt and some of them are the arm and some of them are the eyes, and depending on circumstance or happenstance, as you grow up, you like become the eye or you become the butt, like but it's like each DNA isn't determined to be any of those things. It's just a sort of like you slip into a role and then your whole body becomes like whatever part needs to be there for whatever particular siphonophore you are. And so each siphonophore is like this animal that's like a colony. Weird, huh? It's like how some people, you're a chef or you're a driver or you're like a movie star. It's like, yeah. everybody like finds their role, but it's like as if that was like a biological change.
Yeah. Speaking of jellyfish, I had a peanut butter and jelly earlier. I like to use this orange marmalade. It's very good. A good taste to it. Not too tart.
Weird you mentioned that. Why not? You might be doing good things for your eyes.
Well, what do you mean? Like I just ate my orange marmalade. That's what I do. I eat my peanut butter jelly, my orange marmalade, and that's me.
Well, and there's a new study out from the Westmead Institute for Medical Research. I don't know how good this is, but I don't know. But an orange a day keeps the macular degeneration away. 15-year study.
What the
a
fuck
15-year
is
study.
That's
Eyeballs.
Holy shit! I gotta.
Do you eat a lot of oranges?
Not enough, apparently.
Yeah, they said so. It could reduce your macular degeneration, by 60%.
Wow.
So I think it's like later as you get older, how like all your eyes just get bad over time.
Right.
So like,
I mean, my eyes already suck, so I feel like I should be eating a lot of oranges. Like, there's a certain like group of fruits that I usually buy, and oranges are not one of them. So fuck, I might have to implement the orange into my diet. I mean, like I eat other fruits, so I'm like, do I need an orange?
This
No.
kind of study though is like one of those ones where I'm like, people just want to hear
Is
like
this
what
like a
foods are good to
supplement?
eat.
Is this just like your people who just buy a fucking orange
you eat coffee
supplement?
because it can reduce heart disease, but I don't know. But like
Like,
I don't know.
take,
This
like,
one
the
seems
fucking.
okay.
I take like the fucking ginkgo biloba like every day. I'm like, does this do anything? Like, I don't really know.
Yeah, I think this one seems pretty decent. Let me read a little bit of it. It says that the data shows that flavonoids found in oranges appear to...
Flavonoid. That's just a flavor, right? I think that's in weed. Flavonoids.
There's the flavonoids in a lot of it. Flavonoids.
Yeah, I think that literally is like the flavor.
Well, hold on. Let me just read this. They help to protect against the disease. The associate professor Gopinath says that until now, most research has focused on the effects of common nutrients such as vitamins C, E, and A on the eyes. Our research is different because we focus on the flavonoids. Flavonoids are powerful antioxidants found in almost all fruits and vegetables, and they have important anti-inflammatory benefits for the immune system. So I don't know if maybe oranges have a lot more flavonoids.
I mean, probably. Usually, orange has a very strong flavor. I mean,
I don't know if that's really just because it sounds like flavor. You think that's the flavor?
I do. I really do.
Well, all right.
I mean, like,
I like oranges. I'm gonna enjoy them a little bit more, and I'm gonna think about them going straight to my balls, my face balls.
I just like flavonoids. That just sounds like. That's just when I drink orange juice, I'm like flavonoids. That just
it really pops in your head.
Yeah, flavor, just a lot of flavor.
Man,
that's all for oranges.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple thing. Just like I don't know. I don't really want to read it. The details aren't that interesting, other than just like, yeah, eat them. Even one a week appears to have significant benefits.
Aren't you gonna tell me anything else?
Okay, what do you want to do next?
That was a really it was weird that we were using the left side of the keyboard because left brains.
No, how about like it said that like left brain is all like what musical? I think the right brain's musical and artistic, and then the left brain is like mathematical and logical. And they think like for some reason the brain has to be asynchronous, asymmetrical. For some weird reason, we talked about that one. They induced that one fish to have two right brains, basically like a right brain on both sides, and they said it was like more depressed and a bunch of other defects because of having two right brains. And
so what's the left brain then? That's like memory and shit.
No, I think they were pretty similar, but there's like subtle differences. So they said, you know how they've always said the left is where you process language. I don't know, but they just always said that. This is why the left hemisphere of the brain understands language better than the right. nerve cells in the brain region planum temporale have more synapses in the left hemisphere than the right hemisphere, which is vital for rapid processing of auditory speech, according to new research. So, yeah, it's always been like a thing people have said,
Right.
and now they have a new kind of MRI in combination with an EEG, so magnetic resonance imaging in combination with electroencephalography. It's this new technique that I don't know. I don't really understand.
EEG sounds like it's been around.
No. These have, but it's like a new like genre of it or something. Somehow they developed a new thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
Can I read something
from here?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of a long one, but yeah, like this is. Yeah. Anyway, just read this so you can understand the experiment.
Okay.
Maybe that's a good idea to do.
Using a simple experiment, start over. Using a simple experiment, researchers can demonstrate just how superior the left hemisphere is when it comes to the processing of auditory speech. When playing two different syllables, for example, da and ba, to a person's left and right ear via headphones, most people will state that they only heard the syllable in the right ear. The reason, you ask? Language that is perceived via the right ear is processed in the left hemisphere. When brain waves are measured using EEG, it emerges that the left hemisphere processes auditory speech information more rapidly.
Yeah.
So I kind of fell apart at the end, but so the left is basically in charge of the auditory, like your ears, right?
It just said it processes language more quickly. So it said that in
Which
that
one?
the left side. So that's why they said the right ear heard the syllable, right?
But the left brain, no, the right ear, they hear it in the right only. Most people stated they heard the syllables in the right ear. They hear it in the right, but it's perceived on the left.
You swap. I think it's the same with the eyeballs too. For some reason, I don't know if I've ever read why it's better to swap the sides.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the same with arms too. I think like your right arm is like in your left brain. Weird, right?
That's
I think
it's then
true.
Why does that? What does it matter? What if you're like right-handed or something like that? Like,
I don't know. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but
I feel like it would.
But anyway, they said there's way more. They counted the number of neural synapses in that one zone. What was it called? The planum temporale.
So the temporal plane. So that's
planum temporale.
The frontal plane of the. That's what I'm gathering. That's like fucking like.
I don't know exactly where it is. They don't actually have a graph about where it is.
Well, I'm assuming it's somewhere on the front of the.
Maybe. But so they were kind of confirmed like what people always suspected, and they said it's because they have more neurites or more neural synapses.
Neurites. So I had a friend in college that had those. Yeah.
All right. So I don't know enough about like neurology to go into this, but just because last week I heard that thing about the fish having two right brains, I was like, okay, so like how important is the left brain? It's like, oh well, I guess if it's like sweet at processing language, and you had only two right brains, it's like, yeah, maybe you'd have a harder time understanding people, maybe, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
or you'd be slower if you need people to speak slower. I don't know, possibly.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I mean, like, I was just curious, like, what side of the brain is your memory on? Because sometimes I like to think about, the memory of, like, our old ancestors and, like, ancient humans that were on this earth before us.
Oh, yeah. That's weird you mentioned that.
Is it weird that I mention ancient? Guys, if you get that reference, let us know.
What's a reference?
That was a joke we used on the last Science Thursday. Remember ancient dogs? You said, funny that you ancient.
No, I actually forgot about that.
I was trying to set you up to do the same joke again.
So yeah, I don't know. This is just another one of those things where where they're like, yeah, it's older than we thought. Like
this happens every week.
Yeah,
this is a fucking. Well, I guess
stone tools found in China could be oldest evidence of human life outside of Africa. So like they thought that we migrated from Africa. When was it? More than 200,000 years earlier than previously thought. So I guess they said around 2 million years ago we migrated out of Africa, and like I don't know. This is like 200,000 years earlier, which seems kind of insignificant with those numbers to me a little bit.
I guess the rain down in Africa, understanding I guess the rain down.
I guess it was, it was kind of 1.7 million and 8.5 million was the previous one. So it's kind of,
I mean, when you're looking at the numbers, give or take a 2, 3, 4. I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean,
yeah, they're in.
This might surprise me if I didn't hear all this. We hear some of this shit every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that to me, this one's not as like mind blowing, but
yeah.
There's another just along the same vein. I don't know. I don't have a link to it, but the other people were citing that, like I was saying to you earlier, actually too, that there's like this other thing that they think we came from like one little like tribe or whatever, this one little zone of Africa, and branched out from there. Yeah. And there's like more and more evidence that it was just like lots of different zones of humans throughout Africa for lots of different times, and different like weather patterns and stuff would make us like mix sometimes or stay isolated sometimes. And so it wasn't really one, it was like a bunch of cultures all over Africa for a long time. So that's another thing along that's like, I don't know, update your facts, I guess. Like another one of those, like I guess you got to change the textbooks maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I feel like when textbooks in general, like by the time they're print, they're already out fucking dated. It's crazy, like because like we used fucking textbooks that were like 5, 8 years old, and it's like, how much information did I learn that was false? Probably a lot.
Yeah. I would always, to save money, I would buy my textbooks in college, and I would buy the one that's like 3 years old, and there's only a few things that weren't there.
I got a couple. I'd like to give a few words to Betsy DeVos. Am I right? Freaking, it's the education in this damn country. I don't like to get political, on a science show, but
What are your words for her?
You're a bitch. That's all I got.
All right.
God damn it, guys! It's hot in here.
Yeah, it is really hot. We turned off the air conditioner.
Well, the AC was set to fucking 82. It's set to 82, like, because it's been so fucking hot here. We've been, like, guys, you gotta freaking like the damn show. I gotta get paid. I can't. I want to turn my AC on, but I don't have the money. So.
You know what that sound means? We're going to space. Wait, we already talked about neutrinos. Sorry, never mind. Wait, you know what that sound means?
That sounds like some, like, I don't know. It sounds like light and, like, math.
It's interesting you say that, because there's a breakthrough in LEDs using, what is it? Quantum shit. We've been talking about we've been talking about quantum shit a lot on this show without knowing probably enough to be qualified to talk about quantum shit.
I mean, I don't know so much about quantum shit, but okay, I can't do it. I was gonna say
you're looking for like a poop joke.
Yeah, I was gonna say I took a quantum shit earlier. It's like not that funny.
But I potentially took a poop somewhere in this room, like based on potential. Or
Yeah.
this is like a nerd. Okay, quantum dot white LEDs achieve record efficiency.
Whoa, slow down. Say that again.
So quantum dot white LEDs achieve record efficiency. Researchers
don't even know what fucking quantum is. I'll be honest with you.
Researchers have demonstrated nanomaterial-based white light-emitting diodes that exhibit record luminous efficiency of 105 lumens per watt. So
Is it just like they found like a really powerful light bulb?
just like a new way. Like LEDs were made this one way before, and they kind of have bad colors. The
LEDs I know have great colors.
Some have pretty good colors, but now these ones are somehow do it way more cheaply. Look, check it out. Efficient LEDs have strong potential for saving energy and protect the environment. Replacing conventional lighting sources with LEDs with an efficiency of 200 lumens per watt that would decrease the global electricity consumption for lighting more than half. The reduction is equal to
Mother of God.
The reduction is equal to the electricity created by 230 typical 500 megawatt coal plants. It would reduce greenhouse gas by 200 million tons.
I mean, we can save up some energy for the cryptocurrency farm.
So you can keep those burning hard.
Need to free up some energy.
Or we can like use these lights on our like crypto mining rigs. Like our
Yeah.
PCs will have these like more.
Yeah, I meant that's gonna power like the servers that run the crypto.
Definitely. Well, I don't know. These are cool. They said that the quantum dots generate pure colors because they emit only a narrow portion of the spectrum, and this narrow emission makes it possible to create high-quality white light with precise color temperatures and optical properties, combining quantum dots that generate different colors with a blue LED. So it's just like, I don't know, we can really dial in the colors. To me, as like a person who just like film shit and like sometimes uses lights for lighting, it just sounds like I'm gonna have some like sweet lighting shit coming up here,
and like good color,
really good colors, and small too, because that's kind of cool. Like I witnessed like the kind of development of LEDs over the last like 10 or 15 years from like doing video stuff, and like we used to have to carry on these huge hot lights that were like and they like, took a lot of electricity, but a lot of people just switched over to LEDs, and it sounds like they're gonna get even better, and brighter, and like
that's probably great news for anyone that uses like anyone in the industry, because like that shit was probably just hot as fuck. Like I mean, I've been around
I think about the Wizard of Oz set a lot.
I mean, I don't know.
It must have been.
I'm not thinking of anything in particular, but yeah. Everyone always talks about, oh yeah, it was so hot, like on set. Like,
the crazy thing about these? The crazy thing about these, they somehow like are in liquid in the glass. So I don't really like. I read through this, and they said the researchers filled the space between a polymer lens with a solution of quantum dots that were synthesized mixing cadmium, selenium, zinc, and other sulfur at high temperatures, and they used. Oh wait, sorry. I don't know what the juice was. There's some sort of liquid that they're like floating in, and they're like, that's why it's better. And they like, I don't know.
I mean, they said they synthesized it, so doesn't that mean they turned it into a liquid?
Is that what that means?
Synthesized mixing. I could be totally wrong. I think synthesized means just like pulled out of.
I don't know.
They pulled out the shit.
Anyway. they like liquid is key to it. Just let me tell you that. And before they were like sitting in a solid, and that's like,
well, liquid is key to liquid is key to humans. Water.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're not so different than these lights, after all.
What? I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
We're not so different than these lights, after all.
Nah. I mean, we're not 70% liquid.
85.
Water. Or wait, is it just water? We're 70% water.
It's like probably more liquid, yeah.
Basically all liquid, kind of.
Mostly liquid, or at least like semi-solids. I don't know.
Anyway, they said these are like ready to go into products like right away. Like they're like, we can do this right now. So no new manufacturing processes need to be really developed. Like we really could be seeing these things like around soon. Like it's pretty cool.
We're just gonna be seeing like random like.
Just better, brighter lights for cheaper that are using less energy, probably advertising that they're like really like energy efficient, because they are.
Yeah, I mean.
And being like really dialing in their temperature, like probably like dialing in really good temperature, really good colors.
Yeah, I mean.
Like I had the Philips Hue. They suck. I hope these quantum dots can give me some really sweet colors, because like honestly, there's some jank colors in that Philips Hue bulb.
I mean, do you know what I think about the Philips Hue?
Huh?
PU, you stink.
PU, like
PU. PU, no, isn't that like another thing you say? Like PU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought so. As you were saying,
Yeah.
I didn't know
It
if this
stinks.
was
And I just wanted to rhyme.
all right. Did we talk about everything?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't have a handle on a lot of these topics this week.
They were pretty. I mean, it was just straight up facts, kind of. Like, and yeah, we're not scientists, so we don't really know. I don't know what to ask. I'm just like, yeah.
I'm doing my best. Like,
no, I mean, I think it was fine. I mean, coming off of last week, that was a good week. We had a lot of crazy, like, interesting news that was easy to describe and understand.
yeah,
I think.
I told you I was trying to read all my science stories on the bus today on the way over here. This lady was just talking to me about like why phones are bad.
Guys, if you have any science news that you'd like us to talk about, please let us know. We'd love to talk about it. Or if you'd like to be on this show, send us a letter.
You should get P.O. Box. And if you're here because you found us on Spotify and you think this is like some sort of Drake thing, welcome to the show.
Yeah. Welcome to the show. And please let us know and review us and let us know what you thought of the Drake album. What's your favorite track on the Drake album?
I just want to like, we could save it for SEO show, but the trick to making the last album art, the Drake.
Are you gonna do that again?
I'm not gonna do it again.
Yeah,
but it worked really well. We really we got some SEO, we got some organics listens because people thought it was a Drake track.
I bet you if you're one of those people that found us through that way and are sticking around, please let us know.
Yeah, really, actually. Okay, well, that's the science show. What was your favorite? Do you have a favorite story on here?
I would say I like the tiny ferns. They seem like they're gonna do a whole lot for a little plant, and I think that's really special.
Yeah,
and I like ferns. I think they're cool. I think they're badass. It reminds me of that hike we went on with the waterfall, where we climbed the waterfall, and they had all like the water was dripping down, and it created like a little bit of like a fucking fungi, and the fucking shrimpy little fern was just growing out of the rock, out of this freaking looked like throw up on the wall. So I just think they're cool.
Yeah. I like the polyp thing. I just think it's crazy.
Well, science is crazy, and Science Thursday brings that crazy to a safe place where we talk about it and we let you guys know what's going on in the science world. Thank you.
Let me get a good closing. Should we do like a closing science song or something?
I think maybe like more like a monologue would be good on top of this.
Like what about?
Like just maybe like just like some like promo kind of keep going, like when science comes at you with winged number.
Wait, what?
Just like a kind of like, this is just like a Science Thursday thing. Like, science is everywhere. And if you look close enough, you'll be able to see the things that experts and journalists and first-hand explorers of this crazy world we live on, it makes sense here on Thursday. Thursday's not just a day of the week. Thursday's much, much, much more than that. Thursday is a cell. Thursday is a self. Thursday is something great. Thursday is a symbiotic relationships. Thursday is a bunch of polyps coming together with no family. We want to make you feel okay here. And we'll continue to do it. As long as there is science, as long as there are Thursdays, there are Science Thursdays. That's good. Why'd you hit?
Hi, this is later in the day. I just wanted to put an addendum. I got a fact wrong about the coral. I just wanted to drop a cool fact about that, like polyps are the reason why coral is colorful. I missed that one. I remembered as I was writing the description that it's actually, sorry, I'm running across the street, the zooxanthellae, this algae that lives inside of the coral polyps, that those are the things that are colorful in coral, not the polyps themselves. The polyps themselves, they're transparent. So yeah, I fucked up. It's zooxanthellae that cause the color. Okay, yeah, okay, sorry, zooxanthellae, yeah. And when the zooxanthellae die, oftentimes, when they die, the coral polyps lose their color, and then oftentimes the coral dies. But yeah, it's kind of cool, you know, like it's weird. The polyps share a body with each other, and the coral polyps share their body with these zooxanthellae, so it's kind of similar in a way. But anyway, okay, sorry I got that fact wrong. Bye. This is just an addendum.